What is up? And welcome to another episode of Worship Based Coffee, the podcast. I'm your host, Jay Soleil. Welcome in. I'm glad to have you here on this glorious day. We are working on episode 8 now, and we're moving quite along. So our next guest is a guy that his name is Ethan Eichhorn, and I think I said that correctly, but I'm not 100% sure. As somebody with last name issues, I can definitely understand if I pronounce that wrong. So anyway, Ethan and I have been online friends for quite a while, Insta friends as it were. And he and I had messaged back and forth with each other a lot. And so I had never really talked to him in person. So it was really cool just getting to meet him, getting to hear about his story, about who he is and everything. And so I feel like I got to know even more about Ethan. So hope you enjoy this podcast. And as always, let's get to it. Hey, dude, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, Jay?
I'm doing pretty good on this glorious Thursday.
Yeah.
Thankful to have you hop on the podcast with me. You and I now, it's been kind of a while. We were kind of talking before we hopped on how we've been like Insta friends or online friends for a long time, but never like actually have gotten to talk to each other in person. So this is pretty cool getting to do that. So
Yeah.
what have you been up to today?
Today I'm traveling for work. So I'm originally from California, or I live in California, and I'm in Jacksonville this week traveling for work. So I'm in this lovely hotel room here. So taking a break from work and get to talk about
Nice.
show. So yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, like that's a perfect segue to talk about like what it is that you do Monday through Friday. So
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of wild. And I think we have this in common, and I don't think we've talked about this, but I'm a
okay.
electrical engineer by trade. So I went to school for
That's
electrical.
right. That's right. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And but somehow wound up in construction. And
Okay.
you're a lineman, correct? Yeah. Or
Well, technically, like as far as the like how do you want to say it? The United States is concerned is technically a lineman, but like I'm a substation
okay.
lineman, so to
Okay.
speak. So I just work like nothing but substation work. So they kind of like split it up where other companies will have them like do all crews where everybody does it all to get, So anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So in construction, I've worked on the general contracting side for years now. And so with a superintendent and a project manager. Now I'm a little bit more on the leadership side. So
Oh,
doing
okay.
a bit more traveling, but this most recent job allows me to work from home 3 weeks out of the month, and then I'm traveling 1 week, usually to the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice. That's
that
cool.
that's awesome. That gives me more time with the family. We've got
Yeah.
3 little ones, and any time that I can help my wife get the kids out the door,
Oh yeah.
that's huge. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. That's
Mhm.
awesome. So how long have you been doing that now?
Um, let's see. It's been 8 years since I was in the general contracting world, and then this job is recent. I started in July with the
Okay.
renewal. So, yeah, it's been a shorter stint, but it
Yeah.
me it gets me off the road before. I live in Temecula, California. So if anybody's familiar with California, most of our work was down in San Diego, which
Okay.
so I was on the road 3.5, 4 hours a day, and uh, con-
Oh,
construction. It's not 8 to 5, so I was working
yeah.
a lot of hours
Wow.
and then getting home.
Yeah.
And so this move was big part of that was to spend more time
Yeah.
with family. And allows me to serve more too. So yeah,
Yes. Yeah. You know, because I kind of experienced that a little bit too. I was, you know, playing in a Beatles group, and which I loved it. And, everything that I've learned up to this point, a lot of it comes from that. But I was doing a lot of like Friday, Saturday, Sunday gigs, you know, and so it really was squashing my opportunities to serve on Sundays. So I can completely
yeah,
get that, because once I was able to walk away from that, it's like all of a sudden I was like able to go, yes, 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 for every time Planning Center popped up. So
yeah. It's a good feeling.
anyway,
Yeah,
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 it is. It's like, all right, I can serve. Uh, how do you, so with this, I guess it does help you kind of balance uh, your time. So in that week that you're gone, are you doing a little bit more, FaceTiming with the
yeah,
fam?
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 3 hours difference usually. So I'm, winding down for
Y-
the day, headed to bed and the kids
Before
are
they are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They just finished dinner and I can talk to them. And so yeah, a lot of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that's good. So, I'm curious, like, kind of how you like got into music. Like, what was the beginning for you? Like, as far as like, did you was there? I don't know how to say it. Like, was there a moment that you realized you wanted to do music, and so you know, just kind of share that
Yeah.
experience?
Yeah. Well, I was very fortunate that both of my parents were professional musicians. So
Oh, amazing.
I was
That-
inundated from a very young age. And I'm extremely grateful for that. My father, he has his own business, tuning. He's a piano technician, so tuning,
oh
moving,
yeah.
rebuilding, restoring, and then he is an incredible guitarist as
Wow.
well. So he was always playing in bands. And then my mom was a music teacher, and then
Nice.
she plays piano and teaches piano, and she plays flute as well. So, and they were always
Wow.
teaching at the same time. So, um, piano, flute, guitar, those sorts of
Yeah.
things. So, I was surrounded by it, and I was just thinking about it the other day. Like some of my earliest musical memories were like my parents were playing Victor Wooten, A Show of Hands, in the car. And
That's
um,
amazing.
at the time, I didn't really get bass, but
Yeah.
I think that played a role in where I
Yeah.
ended up with my instrument choice. Um, but
Heck yeah.
yeah, and they were always in bands and never really pushed it on me, but I was surrounded by it. So um, uh, uh, I think my mom maybe she was a little too eager early on. Before I could really sit still long enough to practice, she was trying to teach me piano, and that quickly faded away just because I was too young. But
Yeah.
my dad was a huge inspiration. I just wanted to be like him. So I asked him once if he'd teach me guitar. And he
Nice.
always, he always starts all of his students with classical guitar and very formal classical technique. And a little bit look into the future. That would be a big benefit in the long run, right? For playing bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the left on the left foot or left knee, and the
Yep.
proper technique with your leg up in the air. And um yeah, so I did that for a long time. And then there was a moment or a certain age, um influential age, and my dad was playing in bands, and his drummer came up to me. He's like, "Ethan, why do you want to play guitar? The drummers get all the girls, right?" And he must have said it at the right age, because I was like, "Yeah, I think I want to play drums now." So
Little did you know that really electric guitar
Yeah.
was the what you were playing.
Yeah. So I was influenced by that, and my parents were awesome, man. They surrounded me with the best teachers. I studied jazz, and
Mm,
I loved it. I loved the rhythmic aspect of it, and my parents were pulling me into everything. If we had a family wedding and they got asked to play, I was joining them and playing some sort
nice.
of instrument or on the worship team. They were always a part of the worship team, whatever it was. And then middle school came around, and the jazz band. I knew I wanted to be in the jazz band. My parents pushed jazz pretty hard. They're like, if you're going to
That's
study
awesome.
anything or play music, you should really learn jazz. So looking at the jazz band, all the instruments that were available, if you wanted to play drums, you were just going to play a snare drum. And I thought, yeah, I don't really want to
Yeah.
just play the snare drum. And then they didn't have electric guitars. So
Mm.
the only thing that was left that was close was bass. And I thought, well, hey, it's close enough. So I'll give that a shot. And I I think my dad's bassist at the time gave me a bass to play, just a off-brand P bass of some sort. And
Right.
um, yeah,
That's
that
amazing.
was it. It did not take long till I realized that the bass really combines the melodic piece of guitar that I liked, and heavily
Yeah.
influenced the heavy influence of the drums and rhythmic section, and that's been it since. I mean, I found
Yeah.
instrument at that point. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of like your first experience getting to play in church then was with them.
With my parents, yeah,
Yeah.
and, when they'd play, I was always, sitting right next to my dad's amp, or, as close to the stage as I could, and just
Right.
right? Yeah, so, uh,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That's
with
awesome.
my parents for sure, yeah.
So what about like later on um like do you remember like kind of your first like bass time in worship?
Yeah, I was trying to think about this, and it had to have been it had to have been with my parents, and, they just let me come on stage when I was ready. I almost wish they would have pushed a little bit more, um, because
Right.
as soon as I started playing with other people, or had the confidence enough to play with other musicians, especially those that were better than me, I mean, just exponentially got better, right? And
Yes.
so
Yep.
that was probably late elementary, middle school age.
Okay.
I
That's
started.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So what about like you had mentioned the listening to the Victor Wooten and that kind of stuff. What were some of the other just like bands in general that kind of influenced you
Yeah,
on bass specifically?
yeah. Um, well, Bela Fleck and the Flecktones, my parents
Oh,
loved them. Victor Wooten was playing all the time. I'm
nice.
surrounded by a lot of jazz. My dad is a huge jazz fan. Um, that led to some other thing. Switchfoot was a big one when I was
Oh,
young.
heck yeah.
We're talking bands. Um,
Yeah. That's what I was curious, like if when you kind of started to hit your teen years and you're going to
yeah,
school, if
yeah,
like there were any one of the past I think it was last on the last podcast, Tyler had mentioned like he remembered the first time he heard Green Day and it was just like, wow, this is amazing.
yeah.
So I was just curious if like any bands, so you say Switchfoot was kind
Yeah.
of one of those for
Switchfoot was a
you.
big one, but once I picked up the bass, and, like, you're at in middle school age, you wanna impress your friends, right? So,
Exactly.
like, you're, like, trying to figure out what all the cool bass lines were, and you just go down this
Yes.
deep dark discovery phase, but all of
Oh
us tried
yeah.
the Seinfeld theme and sad
That's
the
amazing.
Seinfeld theme. But
Yeah.
but no, yeah, I think Victor led to Marcus, which led to Stanley, which led to, I had a period there where I was really into gospel music and pretty
Oh,
much
nice.
and Fred Hammond.
Oh
What
yeah.
music I was getting deep into that.
That's
And I
amazing.
went into my own little snobby jazz phase where no
I
one in
love
my
it.
high school in Indiana was listening to jazz, but it wasn't cool if it wasn't jazz for me. So
Well, we have another thing in common because I absolutely love jazz.
yeah,
In fact, that's what made me want to buy an upright bass,
oh,
was
cool.
because my absolute favorite like jazz records, and this is the non how do I want to say it, like the popular, and that is Vincent Guaraldi.
Mm,
His early years, like samba stuff, just those, when it's just like, it was a 3 or a 4 piece, because he had his regular 3 guys, or no, I'm sorry, it was a 4 piece because he had a Brazilian guitarist that played with him that was
mhm.
just phenomenal. But just that upright bass, just absolutely loved it, and I was just like, I need to have an upright bass. And I would, that's why, like, as soon I'm like counting down the days. I'm the one person in my family that's counting down the days when Black Friday hits, and then I break out my green uh vinyl record that is the Vince Guaraldi Charlie Brown Christmas album, because that is just, we're gonna like listen to it 24/7 in this house.
Yes, yeah.
I love it. So you and I are very
Yeah,
much on the same
there we go.
page
Yeah,
on
and
that stuff. So
that's a different instrument. I mean, that's a beast. That is
yeah,
a different muscle to flex, and if you
it
don't
is.
keep up with it, you lose it. You lose it pretty
Yes.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I found was I was not playing necessarily jazz on it, but I was doing more well, there's a guy that I play for that's an Americana artist, and
Oh
he's
yeah.
probably the one that I use it for the most. And he'll have some shows where they're a little more intimate, and it's just perfect to
Mm,
play that. Gives it, not, doesn't give it a country vibe, but it's almost kind of that.
right.
And we, a couple times we played at the Bluebird Cafe, which was just epic getting to play there. And that's what I used, was for that. And it's great because can't really bring an amp for that. So with that, you can at least kind of hear yourself already from it. So
Right. Right. Yeah,
anyway, didn't want to,
I
yeah.
had a worship leader once that was just really into more the folksy side,
Mm,
Americana, and he found out that I played upright, and he loved it. He's like,
nice.
can you play this bass drum with your foot and
Oh
the
my
sun hat
goodness.
with the other foot and play the bass?" Yeah, we pulled it off.
He Nice. He was trying to get you into some Mumford and Son stuff
Yeah,
there, wasn't he?
exactly. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome. So fast forward, now you're serving,
Mhm.
at your local church. How long you've been attending that church?
It's been 8 years. So
Okay.
it's called The Orchard. It's
Okay.
in Marietta, and yeah, it's blown up in recent years. I think we've been in this building for 3 years now.
Okay.
Um, but during COVID, we were in a much smaller building and just bursting at the seams, and we had tents outside and streaming to screens outside, and
Right.
really struggled to find a
Wow.
building um um to house all these people, but
Mm-hmm.
God provided like the perfect place for
That's
us. And
awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. So like, describe, I was gonna ask you, like, how you prepare,
Hmm.
when you get that I'm sure y'all use Planning
Yes.
Center.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like when you get that notification, how do you specifically prepare for, let me ask you this. How far in advance do you
Yeah.
get?
Yeah. Well, I got to give kudos. Our worship pastor is amazing. His name's Casey Embry. So shout out to
Nice.
Casey.
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of worship pastors in the past, and just musicians in general. I'd say you don't typically describe them as organized, but Casey
True.
Casey is high level organized. So we're
That's
very
awesome.
fortunate that at least a month out, he's got
That's
plan
awesome.
planning center loaded up with the MP3s in the right key. He's got all the parts
Nice.
on there.
That is
Um,
great.
the vocal parts all split out for everything. So
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, yeah. And then yeah, he's done something different too. Like most churches that I've been a part of, there's usually like an A and a B team or what
Mm,
have you. But it's kind of been amazing to watch. He's kind of flipped that on its head, and it's all been about heart. And so if your
nice.
heart's right, like you're welcome to come play the technical aspect, no matter where you're
Right.
like, we can work on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was the biggest believer at first of that concept, but I think
Sure.
God's really blessed it, and our team has grown. I mean, it's the
That's
biggest.
awesome.
We have the most amount of musicians I think I've ever seen, and that attitude has really pushed people. So I've seen huge growth in people's skill level over the
That's
last few
amazing.
years. Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
um yeah, he'll get the music out to us a month, and I start I like to start listening to the songs. I start with listening 3 weeks out, and I'm just listening in the car usually. Um, I
Yeah.
I don't wanna pick up the instrument too early. Um, I
Hmm.
I wanna be able to hear what the other musicians are doing, really digest the lyrics. I don't naturally
Yeah.
gravitate to lyrics. Usually, I'm just listening to music for the bass or the drums or the guitar parts.
Well, and
Um,
especially if you're, like you said, waiting to pick up your instrument, then
yeah,
you're really going to be focusing on that. Whereas if you're in the car and you're listening, you will kind of absorb those lyrics a little bit more.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So I
awesome.
I give myself a solid few days of just listening to the set over and over again. Before I had a long commute, so that was pretty easy to accomplish during those times. Uh, and then the first time I pick up the instrument, I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just memorizing where that song is on the neck and really trying to
Right.
visualize it so that when I'm driving the next day, I can practice without the instrument in my hand.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
um,
I love that.
yeah, I've noticed that if I pick up the instrument, it kind of becomes a distraction, and then also my muscle memory just plays the things that my fingers know the best. So,
Right.
uh, I want to break that, and I just really want to use my ears and not play something that's gonna overplay or get in someone else's way. So, um,
Yeah.
when I'm in those car sessions afterwards, I'm visualizing my part as if I was playing it without the instrument, and that just opens up my ears to hear what everybody else is doing. So,
Yeah.
um,
That's awesome.
yeah,
I love that. That kind of actually answers my next question, which was going to be, how do you set yourself up for success on a Sunday morning? That kind of answers that, lit, absorbing it that way kind of
yeah,
helps you to listening to other people. So, what is your like, so typically do you usually like, say to your hey, this is my week that I'm out of town. And so then you'll put in your blockouts on there. So that way you're not like flying back on a Saturday and you're surfing
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I've got reminders in my phone each month to kind of like set our blackout dates of a few months in advance. And I
Yeah.
know when I'm traveling, so that's what I do. And I've kind of set the rule with myself to play once a month.
Yeah.
And that's just we've got three little ones, 3 under 5.
Yeah.
And so I've gotta protect that time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, we're playing 4 services, so
Yes.
Sunday I'm gone all day, Thursday I'm working, and then we have rehearsal at night. Like, that's less and less time
Right.
with the
Yes.
family. So that's
I
been
love that.
a good cadence for us. And yeah, and actually on that note, about a year ago, and my wife's a genius. We I still play on the main stage from time to time, but when I was traveling or commuting so much, she said, that's tough when you're gone all day Thursday, throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
You maybe get a couple hours with the kids, and then Sunday you're gone. And
Yeah.
she serves in the youth ministry, and she said, you know what, like, they have a worship band. Why don't you help out with the worship band, serve with me?
Yeah.
They also have childcare, so we can bring our kids with us.
Nice.
And I was like, oh man, yeah, that's perfect. And that way, I don't think we saw it at the time, but now we're seeing like, oh, our kids get to see us serving together.
Yeah.
And then I'm also, we're working with the young musicians in the youth group,
Yep.
building up their confidence. And yeah, God's really blessed that. And
That's awesome.
it was a little bit of a, you know, adjustment.
Sure.
I definitely miss the main stage and playing with those musicians, but I think the benefits of just my family getting to see us serve
Mm-hmm.
together and more time with the family has been huge.
Yeah.
And, preparing that next team for the main stage has
Yes.
been awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I am 100% down with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm usually serving like twice a month, and it's
Yeah.
usually once on a Sunday and then once on a Wednesday, which is when we have students. And so for me, I love serving with students. In fact, every year for the past 3 or 4 years, I've also served for camp. And so I've gone for the week, and, part of it obviously is that my daughter is in students.
Okay.
So it's great that I've kind of been able to serve there while she's in it. But man, and I know since you're doing it, and I know you would agree with me, I would just encourage anybody out there, if you have student nights and you have the ability to hop on there, even if you are, doing it on Sundays, man, to serve, it's exactly what you said. You're hopping on there, you're serving alongside, you know, musicians that are trying to grow, and you're giving that leadership. And I love it. I think it's a great way to serve the church, serve the students. Because, sometimes at churches, students are kind of looked at last, with stuff like that. And so I think, man, let's serve the students. And plus, this has just been in my case, you can have a little bit more fun because you can click on all the pedals that you normally wouldn't do on a Sunday morning. You're
Yes.
like, 4 overdrives? Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. We definitely need the MXR synth pedal this week.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm like, am I going to try and blow the speakers? Yes,
Yes.
I am,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. I love
And,
that.
and
So
that age, I just remember being that age. I'm so hungry and, just open to hear advice from anybody that,
yeah,
so just a small word from, a musician that's done it just makes this huge impact
yeah,
in the
yep.
student's life. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. So when you're on Sunday mornings, do y'all do 100% memorize, or do you have charts or iPads, or what do y'all do?
Yeah. Um, highly encouraged to memorize, and
Yeah.
I would say the same thing as well. I hesitated there for a long time when I was young, but when I finally just committed to it and got rid of the stand with the sheet music, I mean, any barrier between you and the congregation, it is, um, you know, it's just that, yeah, a barrier.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I I don't have the best memory as it is,
Hey,
but
we all
I just think anybody can memorize it, especially if, when I
yeah.
was talking about that visualizing technique that I use in
Mhm.
guitar, if you can visualize your part and
Yeah.
take those steps of listening, like you can memorize. And then you're not so locked into the music that if you do make a mistake, you're trying to find your place. It just frees you up to worship and lead, truly
Yeah.
lead from the stage as a bass player. So
Yes.
mhm.
Yeah, I love that. I 100% agree with that though. That's how, and I'll be honest with you, when I was at the church previous to this one,
Mhm.
excuse me, we used iPads, and it kind of honestly became kind of a crutch for me
Yeah.
because I would find myself not putting in the same amount of time of rehearsing time, because I'd be like, oh, well, I'm going to have the iPad there. And, but then when came to the bridge, they were 100%, oh, we don't use iPads. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, cool. Well, and which I had already been in a band, playing in the Beatles tribute for several years before that had happened. I was like, well, I guess it's no different than,
Yeah.
than that. Because in that group, we didn't use any kind of, sheet music or whatever. And sometimes we would play venues where we're playing for 4 hours straight.
Mhm.
Well, I shouldn't say straight, with like a couple of 10-minute breaks.
Right.
And I've mentioned this before, but Beatle tunes, especially the early years, are not very long at all. They're like
Yeah.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's a lot of
So,
tune. Yeah.
bro, it's like having to learn 40 something songs. And then, and I know I've said this before, but I just cannot express to you the horror in my mind when it'd be like, that you got your set list down there, and you're frantically trying to figure out where we are in the set list, and then the drummer just goes, oh, did they fuck, and you're like about to hit the song, and you're literally going, what song are we doing? And somehow at the last second, it's just like a very delayed first note,
And slide into
So
the correct note.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the beauty about the bass
It is.
until you
It
get
is.
that note.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, it was the same thing. And ever since transitioning to that on Sundays where I'm memorizing, it really has been a game changer for me. Not only just for being able to put more into the song, but also just for worshiping myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not like so focused on, okay, I gotta, what's the next phrase or whatever, that I'm able to just kind of, maybe I might be looking at my hands, but, I'm still, my connection of being able to sing along to those songs.
Yeah.
You're a lot more aware. It's like trying to drive and text at the same time. It's not, you know, you can only do one thing.
Yeah. You can look out to the congregation, see the response, smile at
Yeah.
someone, Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. I love that. Yeah. Were you ever in a church before that did do the
Yeah.
music?
Yeah. So I had that experience as well. Um, yeah. And now we have the confidence screen and stuff in the back. I think
Sure.
that helps
Yeah.
vocalists a
Yeah.
lot, but I try not to.
And so do y'all play with tracks?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay. And that, I tell you what, we have, we'll have the tracks, and we also have a live MD that will kind
Oh,
of
nice.
and is that what y'all have as
We
well?
we we don't have a live MD,
Okay,
so
so you just do the
just the
uh
track.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
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 But that still, to me, helps with not having a charts too, because of it saying,
Oh, yeah.
chorus 3 2, so it's a little bit easier to kind of stay on tap for all of it. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. So now we get to one of my favorite, and I know all the listeners' favorite parts,
Gonna be my
and
favorite.
that is exactly gear
Yeah.
talk. I wish I
Yes.
could have put like an amazing effect on my voice there, but unfortunately.
Post.
So,
Post.
yes, exactly. So let's talk about, I
Yeah.
know one of the basses that you play because I commented on how I love it.
Yeah.
But talk about your current basses, like what you have, and then we'll go to your pedal board and talk about signal chain, like what you're using.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you saw the Fender signature that I've got. Uh, Holy cow! Just space.
Roscoe.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Roscoe Beck signature five
Yeah.
string. Um, that I've got, and I've been playing
Yeah.
a lot. I
Didn't you buy that from Andrew Teeple?
Oh, you know Andrew. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
rabbit hole, but I'm
Yeah.
from
Do it.
Indiana. I'm from
Oh, that's right.
Indiana.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
he's,
and I used to live in
yeah.
Fort Wayne, and
Oh,
and
I didn't realize that that's where you lived in Indiana. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yes. So that's like Sweetwater headquarters in Fort.
Yeah.
So the church that I attended there, I called it the Sweetwater Church because the whole band
Nice.
worked at
That's
Sweetwater.
amazing.
And we had all the best gear. So, and
Oh, I love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cause they're cutting the church all kinds of deals.
And before I went to that church, I thought I was a gearhead until I met that worship team.
Oh
And
yeah.
they were so far behind me. So, and
That's
that's
amazing.
kind of how I met Andrew. And yeah,
Okay.
he's got beautiful collection of
Dude,
instruments.
it's incredible. It really is. Like the collection of 5 strings that he has is just like drool worthy for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's a cool
That's
connection. So yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
I knew he had that Roscoe and was constantly buying and selling. I had my eyes on it kind of as an heirloom bass. I am
Yeah.
banking on that the value of that bass one day is gonna
Yeah.
skyrocket. Well,
Especially because you have that gold one.
yeah.
The gold
Yeah.
one is a lot more rare than the, like the sunburst or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The blue one, yeah, like Placid Blues. So
Yeah.
yeah. That thing's awesome. It does the jazz bass tone great. The single
Nice.
coil usually what I've got it in, and I've got the actually super polished labellas on that one.
Oh, nice.
Really come to like. Um,
Is that
so
are those like is it like a round that is polished, or is it a flat that's
it's a round that is polished to feel a little bit more like a flat. I don't
okay?
know.
Wow.
So I love the feel of flats, but it's just probably not the right thing for most CCM
I
tracks
know.
that we're playing,
Yeah.
with especially with a pick and drive like that. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't quite do
It
it.
just
So these,
misses that
yeah,
zing.
yeah. So these still have the the zing, and they're real
Nice.
mid heavy too. So
Oh, nice.
that complements nice with the jazz bass that's a little
Yeah.
scooped. So yeah, I've been liking those. And then I recently got a Sire Z7
Okay.
because I wanted to kept hearing about Sires and seeing them and hearing great
Yeah.
things. I was like, well, let's try this out. And then Sweetwater had what was it like? They had one that they used like B stock, essentially a
Oh,
B
or
stock
like a
sale.
demo or
Yeah, demo sale. And so it was a steal, and I picked up
nice.
what is it like burgundy mist.
Nice. Is that the jazz or is it the P?
It's the Music Man
Oh,
single
okay.
coil
Yes.
one, and then it's got the single coil jazz in the neck position. So
Nice. Mm,
I've kind of come to terms. I've gone through lots of phases, but I've kind of come to terms that I am a jazz bass guy.
yeah.
Uh, just
I love it.
I went through the Pinot phase and just trying to sound like Pinot with P-bass,
yes.
bass and flats, and I think my heart's with the what lives with the jazz bass. So
Oh, I love
that
it. Yeah.
that thing does it. I've been really impressed with the Z7. So I put the
Okay.
Ian Allison signature strings on that, which
Oh,
are
nice.
a version of the super polish from
Okay.
both. So
Is
um
it a 4 or a 5?
it's a 5. It's a 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever lose that gospel influence of the
Yeah, that's
string.
awesome. 5 strings. That's
And,
awesome.
and I just feel most comfortable on a 5.
Yeah,
I,
I love
I
it.
that's
See, and that's
something
how
rare.
I was kind of I'm kind of the opposite
Yeah.
where I just for some reason feel more comfortable on a 4. But that's what's great about, you know, everybody have it. And then like having differences, but like Scott, a guy that I had on earlier in the year, he actually has a jazz bass and he has it restrung BEAD or yeah, BEAD. So it's essentially a 5 string without the high G. So
I think I could do
uh
that. I think I could do that.
yeah.
I don't need the G string. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, especially for worship,
Right.
honestly. I mean, you really don't unless you were doing some kind of like really high up like something with reverb on it or something
Yeah.
just as some kind of transient sounds or whatever, but honestly you don't, and it's the low stuff that really matters the
Yeah.
most, you know.
Well,
So
and the G string, like, even if that was the closest note was on the G string, I still would probably slide up
yes.
and play it on the D string. It just sounds
Yep.
thicker. It just
Meaty,
sounds
yeah,
better.
sounds
Yeah. Right.
meatier. It
Yeah.
does for sure. I meant to ask you, so does the Roscoe, is it like have active pickups and you're able to do passive or active on it, or is it just passive?
It's purely passive. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Nice.
I kind of wanted, I kind of wanted the active 5 string thing with the sire, so I got that, and then the
Okay,
passive
cool.
sound, and it does have coil splitting, so I can get
A
semi
ton.
close
Yeah.
to a P bass if I
Okay,
go
cool.
with a neck pickup and put it in series. So I I got most of my bases covered, but um, yeah, I've got a P bass, American
Oh
original,
yeah.
American
Yeah,
original
it's the
30.
Lake Placid one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that one's a nice
Yeah,
space.
yeah. That I love that thing. And then I've got the low tension flats on that. I've tried
Oh,
a bunch of
yes.
different ones.
Labella.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So Christmas time when it comes around and we're playing
Nice.
Christmas songs, I'll pull it
Yeah.
out. And I just love the way that bass it forces me to play different. So
It's true. It really does. It's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
then last one is one that I'll never get rid of, and it's nothing special. It's a Mexican PJ from the 80s or 90s, and it was the bass. So my dad's best friend was a bass player, singer, incredible, um, just front man, and entertainer. So he was kind of my idol growing up in the bass world. And he played this bass, and he had a few years back gotten a new one that he was playing. He wasn't playing this one. I told him, hey, if you ever sell that, like that is the sound in my head as a child of every record that
Yeah.
recorded with my dad. Like, please do not like, or sell it to me first, please.
Yes.
He ends up just giving it to me, and
What?
and
That's
and
amazing.
I had him sign it, and I covered the signature with this, like, clear plastic on it, so, I'll
Nice.
forever keep that. It's just
Heck
an
yeah.
active, Mexican PJ, but yeah, that one holds a special spot in my heart, so,
Heck
yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. I
Mhm.
love that. So what about your pedal board, or was that the last of
That I
your
think that's the
bases?
last base. I probably have a few others floating around, but those are the important ones.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly. So
yeah.
what about your pedal board? What do you got?
Well, right now I'm in love with the Quad Cortex.
Oh, nice.
I've tried a lot of things. The Kemper, what was it, Kemper phase for a long time. The
Yeah.
it sounded amazing. The user interface was a struggle. And then before that was just straight pedal board. I mean, I had the Noble and the Big Cali 76 and dark glass stuff. I've had all sorts of different pedals, but i- the Quad Cortex was so good. And, like, it sounded good, and it was kind of like bringing a studio. I was trying to do these studio techniques and bring them onto the stage.
Yeah.
You got the routing options to do so, and then
Yeah.
the big one for me is really the user interface is top notch. It's so easy to use and manipulate. So it was
That's
so good that
awesome.
I sold my Noble, and
Wow. That
yeah,
is good then.
yeah. It's like I'm not. I'm. This is just sitting here. Yeah.
That's
So
amazing. And I can't remember who it is. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, so anyway, I saw somebody using one of the Quad Cortex, and he had his P bass running out an XLR for one, and then he plays upright too. So he is able to run his upright in and run the second XLR out as that, almost like having two DIs. And I was
yeah,
just like, that's amazing.
and you could send them through separate signal chains, and it handles it all. And yeah, I mean,
That's
I've got the Noble in the Quad Cortex, like a
yeah,
capture of it. So,
that's amazing.
it's just fun. It's just really fun, and you can do
Yeah.
crazy fun experiments in it too if you want
Plus,
to.
uh, I'm assuming it'd be easy for you to just plug some headphones
Yeah.
into it and just literally, if you have a bass and have, power, you can. Okay, that's my Surrey there. That was nice. I'm not sure what word triggered that, but she's not quite sure how to help me. So,
Don't worry, we got the
but
bass
anyway,
stuff covered
yeah,
here.
I guess. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. But, if you have electricity, obviously you can plug that in, plug
Yeah,
your bass in, and just put the headphones on. So that's
yeah,
pretty cool. I love
and use
that.
it as a DAW, so I can just
Oh,
work
yeah.
great with that. So that's nice. Well,
That's awesome. What do you think about the drives in it?
um, y- they're they're good. I've found some real. It depends on the bass, right? Every bass, I kind of have a different setting for every bass, and I probably have different drives for different
Each
basses
bass.
and
So
preset that I use, and I just find something that works well. So
isn't
usually
isn't
something
a
close
lot
to
of
around.
yeah, isn't a lot of their some of or I shouldn't say it. I have no idea because I've never used it, so I'm just guessing here. But I thought because I kind of read some that it uses a lot of the I'm drawing a blank on the dark glass kind of
Yeah.
pedal
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. There's like the ones that they have built in, they do have a B3K. They have the vintage micro tubes. There's the what's the real
Vintage.
popular, but those are
Is it
the only two bass centric micro
okay?
ones that they have, and they've got a few of the other just Sans amp. They've got a Sans amp that
Okay,
they're
nice.
okay too, but I'm usually grabbing something close to a rat, and
Okay, nice.
and then or finding one that's guitar used for guitar, and you can route, so you can send part of your signal to the drive and then blend it.
Nice.
And the routing options are
So you can
you can do
parallel
anything.
basically.
Yes, yeah,
That's
exactly.
amazing. That's awesome. So, because I tell you, the one thing that had drew me to it, honestly, like, and why I started looking into it was the Ampeg stuff that's in there, like for the
Oh yeah,
SVT and the B15. I've heard that their sims of those are pretty incredible.
yeah. The SVT is, I can't get away from the SVT
I
preset, and that was with the Roscoe Beck signature. That's what I'm
oh
using.
yeah,
And then
I
there's a
bet that
cat.
sounds
Yeah. For the Z7, I just found a capture of the Jewel Monique Jewel Monique, I
okay.
guess. I don't know if you've ever seen that preamp. It's all
Mm-mm.
tube, and that sounded like, people are making captures all the time of different pieces of gear, studio gear.
Nice. And
So,
then uploading it and stuff.
yep,
That's
to the
awesome.
cloud, and you don't have to connect a computer. You can do it all from
What?
yeah, it connects to your Wi-Fi, and it's like a little
That's
computer.
incredible.
That was huge, that you didn't have to connect something else to it to download these sounds or
That's
upload your.
amazing.
So, yeah,
Yeah, because
I
I mean,
think
you could literally be on stage on Sunday and connect to the church's Wi-Fi and be like,
you
"That's
could. Yeah,
amazing."
yeah, yeah. So,
That's
I
awesome.
if they were smart, they would start marketing towards, I think, gospel bassists, a little bit more, but,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know, maybe they'll see this podcast.
yeah. That's awesome. So, is there anything like any bases or maybe something that you had at some point that you let get away and it's
Mhm.
always like the one that got away?
Yeah, yeah. Well, oh, I better be careful on this. Well, I I had an MTD 535 for
Oh,
for a while. It was beautiful. The USA model, handmade, and it paid off in the long run because I sold it to get the engagement ring for my wife.
there you
So
go. Hey,
that's why I'm saying
that,
I better be careful. But
yeah.
every once in a while,
Yeah.
I still wish I had an MTD in my.
You're like, why can't I have both?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
MTD and my wife, you know?
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. It was
Uh,
well, it was well worth the
yeah,
price. So
that's awesome.
yeah,
So it sounds like you're pretty locked in, but do you find yourself like, you know, gassing for anything like as far as pedals or anything like that
yeah,
besides the MTD?
yeah, yeah. Of course, of course. Um, in college, once I went to, what was it? Have you heard of Fret Spot?
Yes.
Being Fret Spot. So I was in Missouri for whatever reason, and ended up hitting, I think his name's Donovan at Fret Spot. I
Okay.
think and I was going to be close by to online where it said his shop was, and he's like, "Yeah, come on by." I pull up to this house, and I knock on the door, and it's like, "Oh, I didn't realize I was walking into your house." He was super inviting, and just started pulling out basses for me to check
Oh
out.
my
I didn't
goodness.
have any money, but he was or enough money to pay for these basses, but he was so kind, and I played a couple of basses there
Oh,
at his house, and I have not been able to get the feel and the tone of this BN5 that I played there out of my head ever since. One
yeah.
day, maybe when the kids are all grown,
Yeah. Well,
I'll get
dude,
a
I tell
bass.
you, to me, like, I mean, like ordering one would be good, but to me, I find that on those, especially those higher end, that like finding a gently used
Yeah,
one is the way to go, because you can sometimes find some really good deals, especially on talk bass. So yeah, maybe that one day will come to fruition for you as a
yeah.
retirement or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
uh,
And I know I mentioned it earlier that I just finally confessed that I'm just a jazz bass guy, but that's
Heck
the
yeah.
jazz bass on steroids
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah. It
I love
really is.
that.
Those pickups are essentially a jazz sound, and it
Yeah,
just they're amazing for sure. Yeah, I like listening to Scott, from Scott Bass Lessons, his album, and that's what he recorded the entire album with, and it just sounds incredible. It
yes.
really does.
The banana bass. I tried to win that
I
one.
know.
Gave
I
it
know.
away.
Yeah. Oh, that would have
Yeah,
been incredible. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, now we come to what I am hoping will be one of the fan favorite sections, and that is rapid fire, which is not like rapid fire, because we do take a few seconds sometimes, but rapid fire questions. I'm enjoying this
yeah.
part of it. Just came up out of nowhere, and so far I've been doing it with everybody. So, okay, here we go. First, starting off. Uh, your favorites, flats or rounds?
Can't say in the middle. Rounds, if I had to choose rounds.
Okay. And then if you had to pick, what's your favorite brand?
Strings.
Well, let's say of rounds,
Oh,
since
of
that's what you
round.
picked.
Yeah, labellas. I
Yeah.
yeah, I really like labellas.
Yeah. Their nickels are great.
Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. I already know the answer to this one, but I'll ask anyway. P bass or jazz
yeah.
bass?
Confess it's jazz. Yeah.
Exactly. And
I
so,
tried. I tried.
hey, it's good. I've said this on the last podcast, but I think I'm definitely gonna go through and get a little notepad and put it to the side and start marking. So like
Yeah.
maybe right at a year, I can come on and go, okay, rapid fire, but here's what, how
The
this many P
consensus.
bass, this many
Yeah.
jazz bass.
Yeah.
So
That's a great idea. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. Okay, desert island pedal. I think you almost kind of said it, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I feel like it's cheating to say Quad Cortex, but so if I and I do I love effects.
Yeah,
Um, the if I it'd have to be something like a drive similar to a Rat. The Big Booty
yeah,
Judy's excellent
yes,
option. So yeah, something like that.
yeah. That's awesome. Okay, favorite bass player. It could be worship or not worship. It doesn't have to be.
Pino. Pino's
Yes.
the goat, man. We're all
Oh,
trying to be like
it's
Pino.
it's true. If we could just have like this much
Yeah,
of Pinot.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And it's crazy too, like listening to him play his original P bass, and with the, I forgot, is it the TM or Tomastic
oh yeah,
flat
Ti. Yeah, yeah,
wounds? TI, that's it. Yeah. Flat wounds. I can never, I had a pair of those because when I bought my original Pinot, I've had it now since like 2017. That's
yeah.
been the bass I've had the longest of any of them. But it came with TI flats on it, and I could just never get them to sound right. They just never, like, to what I was hearing in my head and what I was hearing playing on it was not the same. And so like I ended up getting some labellas and putting them on there. And to me, that was more. So I was always like, his TI flats must be like 50 years old or something like that. That's
Did
all
you
that.
tune down too? Did you tune down? And
No, but it was just kind of that, like that tone, you know, it just, I even did the Sean Hurley, and I put some Vaseline on them to try and break them in a little bit, and nope, still didn't happen. But thankfully those strings are being used well, because my buddy from Colony House that plays bass, he had mentioned something about using some flat wounds on his jazz bass. I was like, dude, I've got a set of TIs that are just sitting in a Ziploc bag. Why don't you just take them and you can use them on that? And he goes, what? He goes, heck yeah. So they've been on there now for, the past 4 years or something like that.
Well, maybe that's what it was for me. I tried so hard to sound like Pino and just realized that I don't, and just,
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it really is. Okay. Favorite coffee of choice?
Coffee. I big fan of blonde roasts, and cold brew. So
nice.
Got the toddy kit before we had 3 kids. I was doing the whole thing, brewing it myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
But
what
being
about
in construction, we're used to the trailer black, very, very black coffee.
Yes.
So, that is an upgrade.
Some Folgers or something. Yeah. I know that because when I go to work, that's what they're brewing in all the coffee makers, which is usually why I make my own before I leave the house. I'm like, you guys really want you spend a little bit of money here and get some good coffee in here. So what about coffee shop? Is there one, like, either say back at home or when you've been kind of traveling, that you've hit and you've just been like, wow, that was just some amazing coffee?
Yeah. Well, in Temecula, there's East Coffee is local, and they're fantastic if you're ever rolling through Southern California. My old church growing up had an internship program that the way the pastors' interns would make money is that they'd roast coffee beans
nice.
and sell them. So that's how they supported themselves while they're going through this internship program. So as a kid or young adult, I was very spoiled because that was excellent coffee.
Oh yeah. Especially like as fresh as that would be, having it roasted and then you're like drinking it,
to smell that. All day Sunday as well. So I've never quite found anything like that. So that
that's awesome.
Back in Muncie, Indiana, if you're ever rolling.
So all right, last one is music that you're currently listening to, like when you are just like, hey, I want to listen to music that I'm not preparing to learn.
Well, does like Sing soundtrack and Frozen and Pixar cars, there's all that.
That's amazing. Hey, I'm right there with you, brother, because my son, I have a special needs son, and he's 15 and he loves music, but he also loves music that's really like much younger, than he is. And so, and it is just about 24/7 Phineas and Ferb. And that's all we're listening to, and he's just constantly wanting it. Now, thankfully, he is a Colony House fan. And so sometimes, like when we get in the car, I'll put that on and it makes him happy. And he's sitting in the back seat bouncing. So, but so I'm with you on the, knowing all the words to these songs that you really shouldn't know the words to.
The Blippy Excavator song is, oh boy. So
Uh,
I am getting my influences in there with my kids slowly but surely,
oh,
and
nice.
surprisingly enough, if I don't play the heady stuff, but I play the super groovy bass and drums, my kids start bobbing their heads.
That's
So I
awesome.
have hope. I have hope. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
But
cool.
other than that, shout out to well, it's probably not 90.1 everywhere, but Air One. If you
Okay.
have Air One in Nashville, worship radio station, they do a great job of
Nice.
playing, you know, taking a leap of faith and playing like the newer stuff, not just the
Yes.
popular stuff out there. So I've actually really appreciated that, and then other than that, just going back to my roots and my previous phases in life of music and trying to expose my kids
Heck yeah.
that. So yeah,
That's awesome.
throw on
Well,
some Marcus Miller and see what my
heck
kids.
yeah. Well, it's funny. I had experienced that one time, it was years ago, and I want to say it was a Way FM station. We had gone up to Michigan to visit my grandma,
Mhm.
and they were playing stuff like King's X
Yeah,
and I was just like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know that, the Christian radio station would play stuff like
yeah,
this on,
yeah, yeah,
so it was great that they were playing, some stuff that was a little bit more edgy and stuff like
yeah.
that. I was like, I wish we could have this back at home.
Right. Yeah. Less known artists and
Right.
but great music. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Air One, check it out. Yeah.
That's cool. I'll have to look that up. So as we come in for a landing here, uh, what would you say, like, advice somebody's wanting to either say they're wanting to get into playing worship bass, or they're already in and they're they feel like they're a noob. Like, what kind of advice would you give to
Yeah.
them?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm again fortunate enough to get to work with the students and our youth ministry, and I tell them this a lot is that uh take every get up on stage and start playing like wherever your skill levels at, like yes, you can practice in your bedroom and you should, but you're just going to progress so fast that way. But as soon as you start getting on stage playing with other musicians and
Yeah.
finding other musicians that are better than you, it's going to be exponential growth from there. So I know it takes it's scary,
Yeah.
but just do it, start doing it, and fortunately, especially in the worship world, it's not this gatekeeper jazz world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I
true.
yeah,
That is
you
so
know,
true.
I, no one's going to rip you apart like they do in Whiplash, the movie.
Right.
I mean, in pretty much every other genre, um, professionals are very inviting and are going to encourage you and want to
Yeah.
help you along. So
Mhm.
that's that's the big advice there. And then if you're already doing it, the piece I was talking about getting rid of the music stand,
Yeah.
uh, and memorizing the songs is huge, and what goes along with that is practicing without the distraction of the instrument. So
Yeah.
um
Definitely.
that just getting your own technique down can take some time, but uh, once you got it unlocked, you can practice almost anywhere,
Mm.
which is nice. And yeah, and then it has the added benefit of you're memorizing the music quicker. So
Yeah, for sure. So, what's something, I don't know if you kind of reflected on this at all, but maybe something that God's been showing or teaching you, just in your daily walk, anything you'd like to share?
yeah, I mean, it ties into kind of what I've said before, and is that balance between family and serving and what that looks like, and it's a constant balance because I would play every week,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wouldn't get I would not get burned out. So, um, but I've got a much bigger and much more important role to play
Yeah.
home and making sure that nothing at home sacrifices because I'm serving. So,
Yeah.
that's a constant battle, man. Yeah, and,
And and just to encourage you and anybody out there listening is that we're all in different seasons, you
mhm,
know, and you are going to go through these different seasons of like where hey, maybe you're single right now and then you get married and then you have kids, and so your ability and how much you can serve and not serve, or how much you should serve and how much you shouldn't, like you've been saying, really making sure that you're focused on your family too.
mhm,
Uh, everybody kind of goes through those seasons where you're going to have the ability to serve more or less at different times. And so we just have to kind of embrace those seasons,
yeah,
and kind of use those times to spend time with the Lord and to grow there as well. So
yeah,
I, you know, I think sometimes in our lives we have that feeling of like, oh, I just want to do stuff for the Lord. But sometimes the Lord wants us to just lay it, He wants somebody to just lay at His feet, you
yeah,
know? And so sometimes those seasons of our life, that's what kind of what we're in, is we're in the laying at Jesus's feet, which is a pretty amazing place to be. So,
yeah, yeah, and know that it's just a season, right?
yeah,
It'll
exactly.
yeah,
Yes, exactly.
there will be another season. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So that's pretty much all we got time for today. We're
awesome.
right at about an hour, so which is perfect.
Yeah,
Um man, thank you so much for coming on and for
thank
doing
you.
this. I had a great time just kind of chatting and stuff. So do
Yeah.
you I don't know if your I think your Instagram is set to private, isn't it? Correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it
But
is.
if
If
somebody
people
wanted
wanna
to
hit me up,
message,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
if
totally
somebody wants to
fine.
message you and ask you a question, hey,
Yeah,
I heard you talk about this particular thing. What can
yeah,
you tell me about it?
yeah,
Uh,
100%.
yeah. And so in our, on the YouTube, when I post that on there, I'll put your Instagram handle on there so people can check that out. You also have a YouTube page too, don't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I'm I'm collecting just I don't know what the plan is with that to eventually use it to help teach or,
yeah,
what it is, but, I am recording when I play on the main stage on there,
yeah,
or just to hear what the mix sounds like in my
yeah.
I've used it. I've done a training now on dialing in your in-ear mix,
Okay.
and we used that for one of our, middle school, high school, we have, like, a worship camp every year, so
Nice.
nothing crazy, but yeah, there's definitely,
Cool.
there's some content on there, so
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I'll be sure to put that on there as well too, so people can check that out and check out some of your videos. And you know what? Some of the it's just for fun, just kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
posting. So anyway,
Yeah.
cool, man.
Thanks
Well,
thanks for doing this, Jay. This is awesome. We were talking before this, I said, ever since I found the worship, Facebook group, I thought, this needs to be a podcast." Someone and you had the guts to do it, my friend, so
well, I
keep it up.
appreciate it. Like I've said in the past, it just came from, first of all, I can talk
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
the ears off of corn, according to my wife.
Yeah.
So talking is not a problem for me. But the big thing is like I just thought, hey, I'm getting older. Not that I'm old, but I'm getting older. And I was just like, you know what? What's another way that I can kind of like pass down to the next generation? Kind of like what you're talking about with the youth. And you know what? We're all on different. I think that's a big thing is, you're on the worship uh, Facebook page. And, there's I sometimes forget how many people are really, really new to that whole world
Yeah.
and really don't have a lot of knowledge, that's not a bad thing. I mean, we all have to start somewhere, but like reading that, it just really gave me that desire of, okay, let's talk to some other people and share their journeys so people can see, oh, well, these guys are going through the same stuff I am. You know, they
Yeah.
serve at this church. They are in this as far as their learning journey,
Yeah.
all of that. And for it to be an encouragement. So that's kind of like building that community and doing that. So I definitely uh in the future, like this may be one of the things where I have you come back on as a guest again, and we might just do like an episode just like on the jazz bass and why we love the jazz bass or something like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely love to have you back on again for sure. And so anyway, cool, man. Well, thanks so much for joining me, and we will talk again soon.
All right, Jay. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, later.
See you.
Welcome back to the Worship Based Coffee Studios. I just wanted to come on here and, I didn't really have like a full on devotional planned, but something that Ethan shared about during the podcast I felt like was really special. And that was when he shared about, where he was with his journey in serving. Obviously having kids can kind of, and especially in his situation where he's gone 1 week out of the month. Obviously time with his family is precious. And so I can totally get that. And so for him, you know, he's not going to be able to serve every single Sunday that he's home. He's going to want to go to church with his family, spend time with his family. And so right now he was talking about how serving on Wednesdays is really like his opportunity and how he's really been enjoying that. And what I loved about that was how he embraced where he was in that moment, where he is right now in his life. We all go through seasons. I mean, I've been in different seasons of my life. Everybody goes through different seasons. And I feel like it's better for us to embrace those seasons and just realize, you know what, this is the season that God has for me. I know I talk about Colony House all the time, but right now, one of the things that they've been sharing a lot is a phrase that says, you're right where you're supposed to be. And you know what? That's my encouragement for you. Wherever you are in your life and you're getting to serve, whether you're not getting to serve right now, you're right where you're supposed to be. And just to embrace this time and think on the things that are precious and important to you. And like Ethan's situation, spending time with his family was really important. And so I just really want to encourage y'all for that, and hope that's helpful. As we wrap things up, again, thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. I really am thankful for all the people that have reached out to me. I'm building more friendships with people that I didn't know before. And it's just really cool to get to see all the other worship bases that are out there, and it's just the community growing. And so I really appreciate that. Lastly, just some notes. If you have the opportunity of anybody that you can think of to share this, platform with, like, let's just say some of the other bassists in your community, please take the time to share it with them. Tell them, hey, you need to listen to this. It's great. I'm just trying to grow something for the community. This is not me trying to get anything. I'm not trying to turn this into some kind of job, full-time job or anything. I have a Monday through Friday job that provides just well. I really want, it's more about reaching people, more about building the community more. And so if you can share that would be great. Any of the platforms out there, if you can go to them and like them or make a comment, that helps too, helps us. The algorithm, oh boy, the algorithm. Anyway, I really appreciate all of the people that have done that. So just encouragement, if anybody can do it some more, that'd be great. So anyway, as we say with every episode, thanks for joining, and tell somebody you love them. Bye.